Hi, welcome to the video tutorial Java Connect to H2 Database with me, Nam Haming from Code Java.net. In this video, you will learn what is H2 Database, how to use H2 Web Control application to access H2 Database, and how to use H2 JDBC Driver with both Java and Maven dependency. And I'll show you how to code some Java programs that connect to H2 with in-memory database, embedded or disk-based mode, and client server mode. So what is S2 database? S2 is pure Java SQL database. Its main features are very fast, open source, and JDBC API compatible. You can use S2 in embedded mode or server mode or in memory databases. And you can use its browser-based control application to access the database. S2 has a very small footprint, around 2.5 megabyte Java file size. With that lightweight and pure Java and small footprint, S2 can be easily embedded in Java applications. Now, I'm going to show you how to download the binary distribution of S2 database. So head over to the S2 homepage at the URL s2database.com. You see, this is the official homepage of S2 database engine, and click the link to download the zip file, the binary distribution of S2 database for all platforms, so you can use S2 on any operating systems. Okay, it is downloading the S2 database binary distribution in a zip archive file. Okay, download is complete. Show in folder. Okay, this is a zip file, the binary distribution of S2 database, and I move this file into another directory. So I create a new folder here. Sorry, go to Java and create a new folder here, S2, and paste the zip file and extract the zip file. Extract here. Okay, and inside the extracted folder S2, you can see the bin folder that contains the S2 jar file and some script to launch the S2 control application, and the document and the source code. You can use the S2 control application to access S2 database or any SQL database in browser interface. You need to start the S2 control application by using this command, java -jar, and then the jar file name of S2 database. Okay, so open a new command prompt and change the current directory to the bin directory of the S2 distribution here. So I copy the path here and change the current directory. Okay, and you can see the jar file of S2 here, and type the command java -jar and the jar file name, and you see it opens up the S2 control application in a browser interface. And by default, we connect to S2 database in embedded mode. You can choose server mode, or you can connect to any SQL database via JDBC. And because we are learning S2, so we choose generic S2 embedded mode, and the driver class is the default, and the JDBC URL is the default one. This means it will create a database named test in my user home directory, and I can specify the username and password to access the database. I specify the password is 1234 and click connect. Okay, you see it created and connected to the database test in my user home. and this is default schema and default user of S2 database. Okay, and from this console you can run a SQL statement to manage the table, the data in the table. For example, I want to create a new table. Create table students with two columns: ID of type integer, primary key, and auto increment, and name is of type varchar, um, 48 characters maximum. Okay, and click the run button to execute the SQL statement. And you see the table students got created here. You see it contains two fields, two columns, ID and name. So you can see you can use S2 control to access your S2 database. Okay, now I want to select rows from the students table, and you see the table now has no rows. And you will check the user home directory. Okay, so let me open my user home directory, users Nam Hà Minh, and you can see the database file of S2 got created here, test.mv.db. You see, this is a database file of S2. And to stop the S2 control application, you just press Control C in the command prompt. You see, it terminates the S2 control application. Close the tab. Next, I'm going to show you how to code a simple Java program that connects to S2 database with in-memory database and JDBC driver from a local Java file. I'm using Eclipse IDE, as you can see here. So let's create a new Java project, a regular Java project. Go to menu, file, new project, and choose Java project and the project name. For example, Java Connect S2 example. And I use Java version 15. Okay, next and finish. Don't create module. Open Java perspective. Okay, let me hide the closed projects. Okay, and let's create a new Java class. New class, and the class name is Connect S2 example package net.code Java, and check this option to create the main method. So this program will be a simple console application that connects to an in-memory S2 database. Before that, I need to add the jar file of S2 to the project. So copy the S2 jar file here from the bin directory to the project directory. Let me open the project directory here. Okay, and I copy the jar file of S2 to the project directory. Paste here. Okay, you see, and then come back to the project properties cancel and properties and Java build path and class path, and click button add jars and choose the jar file. If you don't see the S2 jar file here, you need to refresh the project. So refresh the project. You see the S2 jar file here. Okay, view project properties and add a jar file to the class path here. You see. Okay, so that's how to add S2 library for the project from a local jar file. Okay, and then I write JDBC code to connect to an in-memory S2 database. Firstly, I need to specify the JDBC URL like this for an in-memory S2 database. You see, with S2, an in-memory database is created when a connection established, and it is removed when all connections are closed. And the syntax of the JDBC URL is something like this. You see, JDBC colon S2 colon mem colon and then the database name. This allows multiple connections in one process. And you can also use this JDBC URL JDBC colon S2 colon mem colon GC for unnamed private one connection. Okay, so I declare the JDBC URL here, JDBC colon H2 colon mem colon, and then the database name is testdb, and use JDBC API to create a new connection to the database like this. Driver manager get connection here and pass the JDBC URL, and it returns a connection object. And I try catch this statement. Sorry, I try catch, not throw. Okay. And after this statement executed successfully, that means the program connected successfully to the in-memory S2 database. So I print something here. Connected to S2 in-memory database. And then I close the connection dot close. Okay, so you see a very simple Java program that connects to S2 in-memory database. Note that you must specify the JDBC URL like this. Okay, now I can run this Java program. Run as Java application. You see, the program executed successfully and it printed connected to S2 in-memory database, and then the program terminates the in-memory database also removed. And note that in this project, we need to add the S2 Java file to the project class path here. You see, if you see the project properties, you can see in Java build path here, the S2 library here. Next, you will learn how to code a Java program that connects to S2 database in embedded mode with JDBC driver from Maven dependency, and the program will insert a row into a table and select all rows from the table in the database. In H2, an embedded database is a text-based database, and it runs in the same process of Java application. Here are some examples of JDBC URLs for S2 embedded database. You see the first one is JDBC colon S2 colon 0 slash test. This is the JDBC URL that will create an embedded database named test in the user home directory. You can see the tilde character is indicates the user home directory. And the second example is JDBC colon h2 colon dot slash and test. This will create the test database in the current directory. And another example, JDBC colon s2 colon slash data slash test. This will create the database test under the data directory. This is an absolute directory in Unix operating systems. And the last example, JDBC S2 D slash data slash test. This will create the test database in the data directory in the driver. This is an absolute directory on Windows operating system. Okay, let's come back to Eclipse IDE and I create a new Java Maven project. So I close this one and create a new Maven project. Maven project. Next, and specifies the project information. Okay, here group ID net.code Java name Java S2 examples demo Java connect to S2 database and specifies the artifact ID Java S2 examples. Okay, click finish. Here we go. Java Maven project. Okay, and to use S2 database, we need to declare a dependency for S2 in the Maven project file in the pom.xml file. Like this dependencies. And on the S2 website, you can see the cheat sheet here. Click on the cheat sheet page and you can see the dependency for Maven 2 here. So copy and paste here. Okay. And I need to change Java version to Java 15. Java 15. Yeah. Okay. Okay, and create a new Java class here. Java S2 embedded example, and check this option to create the main method. Okay, here we go. And you can see the S2 Java file appears under Maven dependencies section here. Okay, and in this simple console Java program, I specify the JDBC URL for an embedded S2 database like this, JDBC S2 and then the absolute path to database which I created previously in my user home directory. Okay, so I open my user home on Windows here. Okay, you can see the database file test.mv.db here. Okay, so I specify the path here, the tilde character, and then the database name is test, and then create a new connection. Driver manager, add connection, JDBC URL, because when I create this test database, I specify username and password, so I need to specify username as a here and password, which is 1 2 3 4 here, and I try catch this statement. Try catch. Okay, and it returns the connection object. Okay, and now let me run the S2 control application here. In the command prompt, type this command to launch the S2 control application in web browser here, and you can see the JDBC URL here. I specify the password 1 2 3 4. Click connect. Okay, connected, and you can see in this test database there's only one table, students, with 2 columns, ID and name. Here you see. Okay, now I print something here connected to S2 embedded database, and then I close the connection. Close. Okay, and run this program. Run as Java application. You see, I got the exception. The file is locked. It's because it is locked by the S2 console here. So I need to terminate. Press Ctrl C in command prompt. Okay, and run the program again. Let me see. You see, I got another exception. Wrong username or password. Let me check. I need to pass username and password in the method get correction here. Username and password. Okay, and run again. You see, it connected to the S2 embedded database. Okay, so far so good. Now I'm going to write a SQL insert statement to insert a row into the students table in the database. Here, string SQL equal insert into students name value name main. The value of the ID column is auto-generated by the database engine, so I don't have to specify ID. Okay, and then I create a new statement. Create statement here. Statement, and then execute the SQL statement. Statement execute SQL here. This should be execute update that returns an integer value indicating the number of rows affected. So I can check like this if rows greater than 0, and I print a message here, a row inserted. Okay, and now run the program. I got an error. Syntax error in SQL statement insert into students. Sorry, my mistake here. Insert into values. Yeah, okay, and run the program again. You see, connected to S2 embedded database and a row inserted. Now I modify the code to insert another row with another student name, and then select all rows from the students table. Now it should be Ravi Kumar. Okay, and I specify the SQL select statement like this. Select asterisk from students. Okay, and then I execute this select query. Okay, statement execute query, and it returns a result set object, and I can use the result set object to iterate through the rows in the database. So you can see this here basically a fundamental JDBC API. So I can use the while loop to iterate over each row in the result set. Result set dot next equals to, then process the code in the while loop here. And firstly, I get the ID result set get in column name is ID ID, and I get the value of the name column, get string result set get string, column name is name, it returns a string name. Okay, then I print the row information. I need to have a cow variable here, increase number count by 1. Okay, student count, and followed by ID and name. ID and name. Okay, and run the program. Okay, run. And you see it prints connected to S2 embedded database row inserted, and you can see it prints two students, student number 1 Nam Haming and student number 2 Ravi Kumar, exactly what the code does here. And we can verify by running the S2 console application. So I run the S2 here, connect to the test database, connect, select rows from students table, run. And you see there are 2 rows in the students table here, Nam Haming and Ravi Kumar. Okay, I stop the S2 console application. Next, I'd like to show you how to code a Java program that connects to S2 database in client server mode with server started from command line, and the program will select all rows from a table in the database. Note that in client server mode, you can start the S2 database server either from command line or from within the Java program. And here's a couple of JDBC URL examples. The first one is like this: JDBC colon S2 colon TCP colon double forward slashes, and then the host name, and then the database name. This is for a connection with the database in the user home directory. And another example for absolute directory for the database. Okay, now come back to the project and let's create a new Java class here. S2 server mode example. Check this option. Package net.code Java. Finish. Okay, and I can copy the code here. Copy the code, paste here. Okay, and in this program, I simply execute the SQL select statement. So I delete this code snippet. Okay. Okay, and we need to specify the JDBC URL accordingly. Sorry, I need to create statement object from the connection. Create statement. Okay, and we need to specify the JDBC URL in server mode like this: TCP colon double forward slashes localhost and slash, and like this. Before that, I need to start S2 database from command line. So in command prompt here, I need to type this command java -cp and the S2 Java file name, and then a parameter arch.s2.tools.server-tcp to start the S2 server listening on TCP port. You see, TCP server running at this address port number 92. This is the default. Okay, and now I try to run this program to connect to S2 database in server mode. Run as Java application. You see the program connected to the S2 database. Sorry, in server mode. Okay, and you can see it prints 2 students from the database. And now let me stop the server. Press Ctrl C here and run the program again. and it should fail. You see, I got error, connect time out. That means the server is not running. And finally, I'm going to show you how to code a Java program that connects to S2 database in a client server mode with the server started from within a Java program, and the example program will select all rows from a table in the database. Okay, come back to Eclipse IDE and I write a simple Java program to start S2 database here. S2 server. Okay, and we need to write this code very simple. Import the server class from os.s2.tools here. Create TCP server and start here. That's it. Very simple. And add rows declaration here and run this program to start S2 database server from within a Java program. So right click run as a Java application. It doesn't print anything here. Let me stop, and this statement return the server object. Okay, and I run again, run as Java application. Okay, you see the server is running. Okay, now I make sure that no server is running in command line here. Okay, now I run this program that connects to S2 database in server mode. The server is running here, and I run this program on as Java application. You see, it connected to the S2 database in server mode, and it selects two rows from the students table here. Okay, perfect. And now let me stop the server process here. Okay, and run this program again, and it should fail. You see, it failed here. Connect time out here. Okay, so that you have learned how to connect to S2 database in Java. To learn more, I recommend you to check the S2 database homepage at s2database.com. I hope you found this video helpful. Please subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share this video. Thanks for watching.